Okay, hello everyone. Mike Caccioppoli here with my Make America Think Again hat. Think again, not great again. Think again. Although we need to be great again. Why not? But not in that guy's way. Anyway, Make America Think Again. This is a Jill Stein hat. It's actually green. You can't see it. There's also sorry, on the other side. Sorry, this way. Jill 2016 emblem here. Anyway. Lots of pressure here with about 5.5 weeks to go until the election on third parties. You notice that Obama's going out there and mentioning third parties, and Michelle Obama's mentioning third party. Now, the name Jill Stein is the name that we shall not mention. They don't mention any names. They don't mention Jill Stein, their number one issue, or Gary Johnson, the number two issue. They just say third parties. Like, who else are they talking about? Anyway, but they say third parties, and you have Bernie Sanders now going out there and saying no third parties, even though he said we need third parties. In 1991, he said we can't survive without third party, and now he says we don't want third parties. Anyway, interesting that 5.5 weeks before the election, at this late date, all these Hillary surrogates are going out there putting the pressure on people not to vote third party. That's kind of interesting. It's also interesting that I'm getting alerts that Hillary in swing states is running ads, anti-third party, negative ads against third parties, trying to sway third party voters, make them afraid to vote for a third party candidate, either Jill Stein or Gary Johnson. And of course, she's targeting Jill Moore. She won't say her name because you're not supposed to say the name. It's good politics not to say the names of the people who are below you in the polls, but we know who she's talking about. But here's the thing. So I get very upset today, and I said, look at the so-called Democratic Party trying to say we need less democracy and less freedom. Two parties, not three or four. This is the Democratic, supposedly liberal progressive party that's saying it should be only two people. That's it. No one else should be able to run for president or get any votes because they're stealing votes and they're giving votes to other people. And the Republican Party, not a mention from Trump or any surrogates about don't vote third party, we don't want you to exercise your right to vote who you want. So here's the Democratic Party, supposed to be the party who's for openness and freedom and more democracy and more voting, and they want less voting and less democracy than the Republican Party does. And I said this is to show you that the Democratic Party is not the lesser evil. They're not this time around. And then I started thinking more about it, and I said, well, but why? Why is someone as strong as Hillary Clinton, with corporate America behind her, and the mainstream media, which is corporate America behind her, and the military-industrial complex behind her, and all these big-name politicians behind her, and all these unions behind her, and all this money behind her, why is she talking about a third party? Why is she even mentioning third party? I'm thinking, from a political point of view, it makes no sense. Trump's not mentioning third parties. Well, you know why Hillary's mentioning third parties? Because she's losing. I would love to see her internal polling. I would love to see it. I guarantee you she's losing every swing state. Every single swing state. And that's why at this late date, a major party candidate has to lower themselves to even mention third parties, which is very, very risky. Why is it very risky? Because there are so many naive Americans out there who don't know there are any more parties. They believe they have a choice of Hillary or Trump. And this could open up a whole can of worms, and I'm sure they know this, of people saying, wait, there are other people running? Wait a minute, I don't have to vote for her or him? Let me look this up. Let me look up third parties 27. Jill Stein, Gary Johnson? That is the danger, and that's why they would never do it. How often in 2012, did we hear Obama or Mitt Romney talk about third parties? Talk about Johnson or Stein or third parties? In 2008, did we hear Obama or McCain talking about third parties? No, we never hear them talking about third parties. Unless they're forced to have a third party candidate on the stage like Ross Perot. Otherwise, they don't mention third parties because there's no reason to. Why mention them? Why even give the public any idea that there's some freedom out there to vote for somewhere else? Unless you're desperate and unless it's crunch time and you're losing. And all of your friends in the mainstream media can put the polls up saying you're ahead, or they can put polls up to say you won the debate big, but your internals say you're in fucking trouble and time is fucking running out. Alert, alert, get everyone out there. Talk about third parties. Run negative ads about third parties. We know it can open up a can of worms and it's risky, but we got to do it because we're losing, and we're losing big. So, Jill Stein people, this should energize you into believing. Not only is Hillary more behind Trump than the polls say, but third parties like Gary Johnson, Jill Stein are gaining traction, you see. You see, if it was only Trump, she'd only concern herself with Trump. But it's not. It's all the other votes that she's not getting. You see? So please, please do not believe the polls. Don't believe the polls that say it's 43-43 with Johnson at 5 and Jill at 2. Don't believe it, because if Johnson was at 5 and Jill at 2, Hillary wouldn't care about them. Hillary wouldn't give a shit about them. Trust me. If Jill Stein was at 2%, Hillary wouldn't even come close to mentioning her or third parties. He wouldn't have to. She is in trouble, and this is a desperation move, not only to go out and talk about it, but to run ads, to spend money, millions on it, precious money you could be spending against Trump or promoting yourself. This is the key. 5.5 weeks to go, and she has to do this. Be heartened. Be heartened that the polls are total nonsense. That Jill Stein's doing a whole lot better, especially in the swing states. Be heartened. This is the key. This is the political move. This is the political poker move. Hillary's tell. This is Hillary's tell, if you know poker. This is the tell. You know, like some people do this. They get a little nervous, so they do this, or they scratch their head, or they touch their hat, or they, you know, if you watch a David Mamet film, they spring the ring around. This is Hillary. Her tell saying she is in deep fucking shit. And the third parties, where they are doing a lot better than the polls say they're doing. And Hillary's doing a lot worse than the polls say she's doing. This is it. This is the tell of the political season. And with 5.5 weeks to go, she's in trouble. And she's got no other choice but to take the chance and bring the third parties into the atmosphere, into the political atmosphere, which is the last thing a major party candidate would ever want to do, and they ever do. They never mention them. They never mention them. It's as though they don't exist to them, unless things aren't looking good, unless they're missing a lot of votes somewhere. So don't let her fool you. Don't let her scare you. If you're in one of those swing states and you see that ad of Obama saying, "My legacy, protect my legacy," don't believe it. Don't believe this. It's scary. It's scary third party. Scary Trump. Scary Johnson. Scary Stein. Only vote for Hillary. Remember, a vote for Jill Stein is a vote for Jill Stein. That's it. That's the way it works. If you vote for me, I benefit from the votes. I get the vote. You vote for Mike Caccioppoli, Mike Caccioppoli gets the vote. Nobody else does. Mike Caccioppoli benefits. Nobody else does. So don't believe the nonsense. A vote for Jill is a vote for Hillary, and a vote for this is a vote for that. And Obama says, I'm going to be offended if you vote for Jill Stein. I'm offended. My legacy of drone strikes, and my legacy of trying to not let people sue Saudi Arabia. My great legacy is going to be ruined. Not only is his legacy gone to shit, but Hillary will make it go to even more shit. So don't believe it for a second. Don't believe it for a fucking second. Hillary's in trouble. She's let us all know that. She's let us all know that. She thought she could maybe get away with it, but I'm here, so she can't get away with it. I know what she's doing. I know the political game too well. I know the political poker game too well to know that this is a late desperation move that no major party campaign wants to ever have to do. Ever have to do. So take heart. When people say Jill Stein can't win, they're full of it. They are full of it. When they say Hillary is inevitable, they are really full of it. Totally full of it. So what are we going to do? November 8th, 2016. What are you going to do when you get into that polling booth and you see Clinton, Trump, Johnson, Stein? What are you going to do? By the way, I want to be fair. There are like 6 other parties that you can vote for as well if you believe in whatever those parties believe in. But the top 4, let's say the top 4, realistically, the top 4. What are you going to do? You're going to have a choice. You're going to have a choice. My hope is that people are just physically revolted by the name Clinton. We already know there are supposedly a lot of people who are physically revolted by the name Trump, but I want people to be physically, when they see that, have a visceral, ugh, I can't put my pen there. I can't fill in that name. That's what I want. That's been my job for this last year and a half. Supporting Bernie, now supporting Jill Stein, supporting the candidate I believe in, supporting the greater good, not the lesser evil, or the greater evil, or the lesser of the greater evil, all that bullshit. Supporting the person who I believe in. I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary. I'll vote for Jill Stein in the general. But I want people, if people have that physical reaction, fever, sweats, nausea, when they see Hillary's name on that ballot and they just can't fill it in, then I'll know I've done my job. Then I'll know I have done all I can do, and I've done it well. Hillary's in trouble. She's in trouble. Big trouble. Forget what you see on the mainstream media, because they're going to keep on playing this rosy game. Oh, she wins all the debates, and she's going to win, and she's ahead, and now she's getting a bump because she won the thing. Blah, 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 blah. Romney won the first debate, lost in a landslide. What the fuck is the difference? Doesn't matter. We know it doesn't matter. So you have to understand that she's in a lot of trouble. All you have to look is the way the campaign, what they do, their moves. That's all you have to look at, their poker moves, to know what's going on inside, the way they know it's happening, not the way they tell the man, not the way Hillary gives her orders to say, put some icing on this shit for me. Please put some icing on this shit, even though we know it's shit underneath. She knows it's shit underneath, and that's why she's doing this with third parties. So once again, make America think again. Vote Jill Stein. 5.5 weeks to go. This is great news. What's going on? Great news. Great news. Just a little P.S. Jill got 4, 5, 6 million viewers in her debate the other night. Her debate when they didn't let her onto the debate stage. Of course, because they let her onto the debate stage, a two-party fantasy will go up in smokes. I mean, you look at Hillary's doing bad. Look, Hillary's doing bad now. Could you imagine if Jill was on that debate stage? If Jill was on the debate stage, she'd probably win every swing state. She'd probably win a lot of the blue states. She'd win the landslide. They don't want her on the debate stage. They're struggling even with keeping her off the debate stage. But Jill, in her own little debate, where she answered the question, she got millions of viewers. I mean, more than I thought. I thought she'd get hundreds of thousands. She got millions of viewers. She's got like 15 million impressions between Twitter and Facebook and RT America and everything. So people are interested. And this is why Hillary's in trouble. Take heart. Jill Stein 2016, we can do it. Keep your eye on the prize, November 8th. Mike Caccioppoli, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.